Hello and welcome to Game Club. Today we'll be playing the flesh-crawlingly horrible zombies, a game about creatures that basically come alive and try and eat you. Anyway, join us as we play and review zombies. I'll start with the box. Yeah, I love that box artwork. I think it's wonderful. This is the base game, the basic version of zombies. So as you can imagine, it's kind of, well, pretty much set standard. I know this is a film and the sort of film stock and that. I like the side of the box. I like the imagery on there. I think that's quite fun. Yeah, just to note, obviously this is in memory of Todd Berittenstein, so I can just about get that name. Chewing gum always does that to me. And that's the booklet, which is very good. The game itself is actually quite easy to understand and navigate. There are your character pieces, your dice, your cards, and then just below that you've got your floor panels, your floor tiles for everything that you need for the game, and then you've got all your sorted zombies. Now we'll have to go through and do a quick playthrough, and then we can review zombies. Right, so what I've gone ahead and done here is just set up a kind of walkthrough of the game, and I've done a path here, one path leading this way down to the hospital, the other one leading snaking round until the exit here, and that's just to show you sort of a scenario and also explain bits of the game as well. Now just to note that there are 3 players here, but there are various versions of the game that actually exist because of the brilliant on the back of the booklet here. You have your scenario play with things like search and rescue, which you have your effectively you have your survivors. You then have, of course, that listed down where the survivors are based and how many survivors there are. There's last man standing, and of course you then have the quicker play version, which is where the helipad is drawn far more quicker and you can basically access it far more quickly. But what generally happens is the base game is you'll get your blocks here, you will have this as your first one here, you will then shuffle in halfway through this card. Sometimes some people I have seen actually put that all the way at the end for a really tough experience, and then you work your way through, you navigate your way through. You have your cards that help you along the way. Now I've just put 3 here, but I think the artwork on these is absolutely stunning. They can be both used to be beneficial to you and also detrimental to other players as well. So depending on what the scenario you're playing, co-op or against each other, you can find that each one does a certain thing. Now what happens is when you move off of here, you roll your dice, which I've not removed from the bag, but here to move, and you basically then will move on to spaces here. If you have a tile that's like this, you'll basically put zombies on each of the exits and effectively have to fight them. If, however, you have a tile like this, where it denotes a location, this is the hospital, it tells you how many zombies are there, and it also says how many life should be on there. I've only put 1 on here, but you would put 4 on here, and as you can see, each one of these has gone into a white space, but to be honest with you, there aren't much in the way of restrictions on putting other zombies on the same spaces. You do also get spaces like this where you have doorway entrances into things. I haven't put the doorways on here, but the doorways look like this here, and they allow you to enter. There is generally nothing in those buildings, but you still have to fight your zombies. You can try and avoid them with cards here, and some people play it that you can avoid it by walking past them or rolling past them. I generally don't, because usually I say that people have to move. Then just to note as well, you also get locations like, for instance, this florist shop where you'll get a bullet, 1 life, and you'll get 3 zombies. I haven't put the zombies in there, but I've just kind of made it so that you can see that. The last tile is just 7 zombies, which is lovely and helpful. But effectively, you're just moving each tile, fighting the zombies that are there. Maybe you'll get lucky and you get something from that. Maybe you don't get lucky and you don't get something from that. In the survivor version, you're trying to search and rescue and find people. And once you have sort of up to 2 or 3 survivors, I mean, to be fair, mostly people play it in teams. They will then set a limit. I normally set it at 3, which is slightly more tougher, but it also is far more fun. If you like the game, then basically that's it. And it is that simple in a nutshell. It's a case of you roll, you move, you fight zombies by rolling. If you lose against the zombie, then you have to remove a heart from your 3 hearts that you start with, or you can use your bullets in order to top up the roll. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So Zombies. Zombies is the sort of game that has received some hostility, and I think unfairly, and also a level of adulation, which I think that I'm kind of half and half with. It's unfair because, the reason why it's unfair, is because the game is actually evolved and grown and is a really good entry-level game for people who want to start getting into games more seriously, or games proper, as some people say. It's a sort of game that, with the expansions, has allowed itself to evolve to a point where it really has a lot of pertinence to game playing. You're establishing moves. It is a roll and move and roll and fight sort of game, but it allows for resource allocation, it understands limitations, and it allows players to explore how they interact with the game itself, with the surroundings, and also their limited supplies. The expansions just effectively evolve that further and really do a lot of good work with that, especially also the booklet as well, which, I would say if you've never played it, please buy this just to try the scenarios in the back, because I think that they're all very, very good. There is also a single player scenario which is online, which I would also highly recommend if you like a nice solitary battle, but to be fair, most people like to play this in groups. At the moment, obviously, that's slightly restricted, but hey, it will change. The problem with the adulation is that often that's sort of built on the fact that people played in the past and haven't come back to it in some time. If you come back to it, you realise how limited the game can be, and that how much you have to invest in actually sort of souping up and making it far more dynamic, because the base game after a point becomes quite sort of turgid and sort of plodding. But overall, if you are new to games and you are interested in buying a game that is a little bit different and probably going to pull in a lot more people because it's far more easy to understand, then Zombies is for you. And if you're also someone who likes games that are effectively characterized by violence and also the ability to resource containment, then this is ideal for you as well. So that was Zombies. I'm Simon and this is Game Club, and thank you so much for watching again.